Hello everyone, welcome to Matrix YouTube channel. Today we are here for the discussion of solutions of Matrix Olympiad paper which was held on 20 October 2024. So we'll start from class 9th and the subject is physics. First question, the speed time graph for the motion of a motorcycle is shown here. What is the average speed over 12-second interval? Okay, so we have to calculate the average speed. As we know that the average speed, let's say it is given by V average, is equal to total distance divided by total time taken, and we know that total time is given 12 seconds. So if we are able to calculate the total distance traveled, then we can calculate the average speed by this formula. We know that the area covered in speed time graph is equals to distance. So we have to calculate the total area covered in this graph. Okay, so let us calculate the area of this rectangle, then this part, then this triangle, similarly this part and this triangle. Okay, so one by one we are calculating the total area covered in this graph. Okay, so let's see for this part. First of all, I am calculating only area, okay, which is equals to total distance. So distance, let's say it is given by x. So for this part we know that the base is 5 and the height is 2. Okay, so for this plus 9 minus 5, that means 4, and the height is again 2. Okay, for this triangle the area of triangle is given by half base into height. So 1 upon 2, what is base? Base is 9 minus 5, that is equal to 4, multiplied by height is 3 minus 2, that is 1. Okay, then for this part 12 minus 9, that is equals to 3, and the height is also again 3. For this triangle plus 1 upon 2 multiplied by base is 3 and the height is 9 minus 3 is equals to 6. So now simplifying this, this is 10, 4 to the 8, and from here it is 2. So this is also solved. 3 into 3, 9, plus 3 into 3, that is also 9. So x equal to 8 plus 2, that is equals to 10. 9 plus 9, that is equals to 18. So 10 plus 10, 20 plus 18. Okay, so that is equal to 38 meter. Okay, so from this formula, average speed is equals to 38 divided by 12, which is nearly equal to 3.17 meter per second. So our correct answer is option D. Okay. Next question. Question number 2. A car travels with a constant speed of 30 km per hour for the time is 15 minutes. Okay. Let's say the first speed is V1, which is 30 km per hour. Okay. And the time taken is, let us assume T1, which is 15 minutes. Okay. And then quickly speed up to 40 km per hour to be maintained for next 30 minutes. That means V2 is given, that is 50 km per hour, and the time is T2, let's say, which is 30 minutes. Okay, then its average speed in kilometer per hour. So we have to calculate the average speed in kilometer per hour. So these speeds are given in kilometer per hour. So time should be converted into hour. So 15 minutes we can say 1 upon 4 hour, and for 30 I can say 1 upon 2 hour. Okay, so the average speed, again the same formula, total distance divided by total time. So let's say V average. Okay. How can we calculate the distance? Distance is equals to speed into time. So for first part the distance, let's say x1, for next part distance is x2, and time is t1 plus t2. So we know that x1 can be given as v1 into t1, so it will be v1 t1 plus v2 t2 divided by t1 plus t2. Okay, now putting the values, va equal to 30 multiplied by 1 by 4, that means 30 by 4, plus next is 50 multiplied by 1 by 2, that is 50 by 2, divided by 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. Now taking LCM, VA is equals to, so I am writing here 8 and cross multiplying this, 30 to the 60 plus 54 is 200 divided by 2 plus 4 divided by 8. 8 is cancelled by this 8. So it becomes VA is equals to 260 divided by 6. Okay. So on solving this, we will get our answer, which is equal to 43.33. That is, option A is our correct answer. Okay. Next question. A bicycle is being pedaled on a horizontal road. The force of friction between the road and the front and rear wheels are F1 and F2 respectively. Then, so what is F1? F1 is the force of friction acting on front, and F2 is acting on rear wheel. So we know that whenever we are pedaling a bicycle, the force is applied on the rear tire. So the force acting on the front tire will be in backward direction, while the force acting on a rear tire will be in forward direction. So we will say out of this, F1 act in the backward direction, F2 act in the forward direction. So option D is our correct answer. Next question number 4, based on assertion reason. So in assertion it is said linear momentum is conserved in both elastic and inelastic collision. Yes, there are two types of collision. Elastic collision, in which total energy, linear momentum and kinetic energy all are conserved. Inelastic collision means momentum is conserved, total energy is also conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. So this is a true statement. Total energy is conserved in all collisions. This is also a true statement, as we have discussed. So we will say both are correct, but this is not a correct explanation of assertion. So option B is our correct answer. Next question number 5, which is match the following question. So in column 1, first is momentum. In column 2, units are given. So we know that what is momentum? P is equals to m into v, mass into velocity, that means kg meter per second. So kg meter second inverse, that means I will write 3. Velocity, we know that what is velocity? That is displacement upon time. So I will write meter second inverse. So for this I will write 2. Acceleration is change in velocity divided by time, that is meter second power minus 2. That means for acceleration I will write 1. And force, what is force? Force is equals to mass into acceleration, that means I can write it kg and then meter second power minus 2, that means 4. So correct code is 3214. 3214, that means option C is our correct answer. So question number 6 is based on a paragraph. So in this paragraph some situations are given here, and in question number 6 it is asked the velocity of a truck changes from 3 meter per second to 5 meter per second in 5 seconds. What is the acceleration in meter per second square? So here in this question we have initial velocity, that is 3 meter per second, and the final velocity is equals to 5 meter per second, and the time duration is given t is equals to 5 seconds. We have to calculate the value of acceleration. We know that the acceleration is given by change in velocity with respect to time, so it will be given by v minus u divided by t. So now putting the values of v, u and t, we have the value of v, that is 5 minus 3 divided by 5. So we get 2 upon 5. On solving this, we'll get 0.4 meter per second square. So option D is our correct answer. Okay. Next question. Very simple question. It is said negative acceleration is also known as deceleration, or it is also known as retardation. Okay. So B is our correct answer. We have discussed all the questions of subject physics. For more information regarding Matrix Olympiad, subscribe this YouTube channel. You can also join our WhatsApp channel. The link of WhatsApp channel is provided in the description of this video. So if you have any type of doubt in any question, then click on Ask a Doubt button, which is provided in your MOF profile. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, welcome to all of you on Matrix YouTube channel. Now we will discuss the MOF paper solution for class 9, which was conducted on 20th October 2024. The first question is, a student takes some water in a beaker and heats it over a flame for determining its boiling point. he keeps on taking its temperature reading. He observes that the temperature of the water, okay, when we boil the water or when we get the heat to water, then it becomes converted into vapor. Initially at the boiling point it becomes into vapor, but after some time it becomes constant. So let's see the option. So the option is keeps on increasing regularly. No, it's not keeps increasing regularly. Keeps on increasing irregularly. No, it keeps increasing regularly, but after some time it becomes constant. So option B is also a wrong option. First increases slowly, then decreases rapidly, and eventually becomes constant. No, it is also a wrong option. First increases gradually. Yeah, first it is increases gradually and then becomes constant. So the D option is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, Rajpal mixed starch with water, boiled the mixture well and stirred it. He observed that. Firstly, if we discuss about the starch, starch is a polysaccharide and which is made up by the different glucose units. Means in the starch molecule, the glucose unit is monosaccharide units which combine with each other and form the starch. So if we mix the starch with water and boiled it, then the starch convert into glucose molecule, and these glucose molecule releases glucose molecule, and because of the releases these glucose molecules, it becomes so translucent substance, and it is like a colloidal substance. Okay, so let's see the options. So the option A is starch floats on the surface of water. No, starch not floats on the surface of water. Second is starch settles down at the bottom. No, it is not settled down in the bottom. Starch forms a transparent solution. No, starch cannot form a transparent solution because it is a colloidal solution. And starch forms a translucent mixture. Yeah, starch forms a translucent mixture because of the formation of a colloidal solution. Trans releases its glucose molecule in water. So because of that, it forms a translucent mixture. Okay, so the option C is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is assertion result type question. Okay, let's see the assertion statement. The assertion statement is, in pressure cooker, temperature of water becomes more than 100 degree. Yes, it is completely true statement, because we know that in the pressure cooker, when we boil the water, then it's converted into vapor. But if the container is closed, then that vapor creates some pressure, and that pressure is known as a vapor pressure. Okay, so the assertion statement is a completely true statement. Now, let's see the reason. The reason is boiling point is directly proportional to the pressure acting on liquid. Yeah, it is completely a true statement, because when we boil the water, then it's converted into vapor, and when the container is closed, then vapor again condensed and produces a pressure on the remaining liquid, and that pressure is directly proportional to the heat. Means if the heat is increases, then boiling point is also increases, and the vapor which is produced during this process is exerts, or it increases the pressure on the liquid. So the assertion is also a true statement, and reason is also a true statement, and assertion and reason both are true, and reason is correctly explain the assertion. Okay, so let's see the options. The option A is both assertion and reason are the true, and the reason is a correct explanation of assertion. Yeah, it is completely a right option, because assertion and reason both are true statement, and reason is correct explanation of assertion. Now the next is both assertion and reason are the true, and reason is not a correct explanation. No, it is a correct explanation. So the option B is also a wrong option. Assertion A is true and reason is false. It is wrong. And assertion is false and reason is true. It is a wrong statement. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, match column first with column second and select the correct answer using the codes given below. Okay, so let's see the column first. In the column first, P is elements, Q is compounds, R is homogeneous mixture, and S is heterogeneous mixture. Now let's see the column second. In the column second, first is helium and mercury. We know that the helium and mercury both are elements, because in these elements all the atoms are same, and they are present in the same composition. So these are known as the element. Next is the alcohol and glucose. The formula of the alcohol is C2H5OH, or we can say the formula of alcohol is ROH. And if you're talking about glucose, the formula of the glucose is C6H12O6. So the alcohol and glucose both are not element. We can say these are compounds. So the helium and mercury are elements, alcohol and glucose are compounds. Now let's see the next one. The next one is gemstone and milk. Gemstone and milk both are heterogeneous substances, or we can say both are colloidal substance. In the colloidal substance, there are the three types of the stages of the solutions. First is the true solution, colloidal and suspension. So these are colloidal substances, and colloidal substances are heterogeneous substances, heterogeneous mixtures. So the third, gemstone and milk, is heterogeneous mixture. And air and copper sulfate solution. Air is a combination of different gases which are completely mixed with each other, and the copper sulfate solution is also a true solution because the particle size of copper sulfate solution is less than 1 nanometer. So it is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so let's see the answer. The P is matched with first, Q is matched with second, and R is matched with fourth, and the S is matched with third. Okay, so the option 1, 2, 4 and 3. 1, 2, 4 and 3. It means the A is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is paragraph based question. Let's see the paragraph. The paragraph is: concentration of a solution is the measuring amount of solute dissolved per liter of solution. Dilute solution is a solution having small amount of solute, while a concentrated solution having large amount of solute in a given solvent. The maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in 100 grams of solvent at a particular temperature is called its solubility. Okay, so here is a formula is given. Mass percentage is equals to mass of solute upon mass of solute plus mass of solvent into 100. Now let's see the question. The question is: calculate the mass of solute required to prepare its 20% mass percent solution in 100 gram of water. It means in the question we have to find the mass of solute, and the given amount is mass percentage, that is 20%, and the mass of solvent is also given, which is 100 gram. Okay, now let's see the question. In the question we have to calculate the mass of solute, so we assume the mass of solute is equals to X. Now put the value. The mass percentage is 20 is equals to mass of solute. We have to calculate the mass of solute, so it becomes X upon mass of solute is X and mass of solvent is 100 and multiply by 100. Okay, so now let's see. 20 is equals to X upon X plus 100 into 100. So when we shift there, then 20 multiplied by X plus 100 is equals to 100X. And when we multiply the 20 with this amount, then it becomes 20x plus 2000 is equals to 100x, and 2000 is equals to 100x minus 20x. So the 2000 is equals to, when we subtract the 100x minus 20, then it becomes 80x. So if we find the value of x, then x is equals to 2000 upon 80, and the value of this is, so it becomes 25 gram. So the options are 20 gram, no, it is a wrong. Next is 35 also wrong, 45 also wrong, and B is 25 gram. So the option B is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, paragraph is same for the question. Now let's see the question. The question is, during an experiment, the students were asked to prepare a 10% mass by mass solution of sugar in water. Okay, so there are two students. First, Ramesh dissolved 10 gram of sugar in 100 gram of water. It means Ramesh, according to Ramesh, it dissolved 10 gram of sugar in 100 gram of water, means the amount of the solution is 110. It becomes 10 and multiply by 100, so it becomes 10 upon 110 into 100, and it is 9.09% solution. Now the next is, while Sarika prepared it by dissolving 10 gram of sugar in water to make 100 gram of solution, mean the amount of solution is 100 gram. So according to Sarika, it take 10 gram of sugar in 100 gram, okay, and multiply by 100, so it becomes 10% solution. Now let's see the remaining question. The question is, which of the following statements are true? Now let's see the statement. The first statement is, two solutions do not have the same concentration. Yeah, it is exactly a correct statement, because according to Ramesh, the percentage of the solution is 9.09%, and according to Sarika, it is 10% solution. So the first option is the right option. Now let's see the next. Two solutions have the same concentration. No, they don't have the same concentration. They have the different concentration. Now let's see the third one. According to third, the concentration of the solution of Sarika is 10% by mass. Yeah, it is completely a right statement. According to Sarika, it is 10% by mass. And the last one is, the concentration of the solution of Ramesh is 9.09% by mass. Oh yes, it is also a correct statement according to the calculation. Now let's see the option. First and third only. First and third only, no. First and fourth. Second only, no. Third is first, third and fourth only, yes. Next is first and fourth only. So according to this, the option C is the right option for this question. Thank you. If you have any query, any doubt about any question, you can ask your doubt in Ask a Doubt. And if you want to get more information regarding Matrix Olympiad, so you can subscribe our YouTube channel also. You can join our WhatsApp channel also. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Hello student, welcome to Matrix High School. Today we discuss about Matrix Olympiad paper solution for class 9th biology portion. Let's start question number 1. Select the incorrect statement from the following regarding chloroplast and mitochondria. The chloroplasts are generally much larger than the mitochondria. Chloroplast larger than mitochondria. Next, both chloroplast and mitochondria contain inner and outer membrane. Outer membrane and inner membrane, same here, outer membrane and inner membrane. A and B, right. Both chloroplasts and mitochondria have an internal compartment, the thylakoid space bounded by the thylakoid membrane. This statement is wrong. And both chloroplast and mitochondria contain DNA, that is right. So, according to question, option C is right answer, because incorrect statement, that is incorrect statement, and all other A, B and D is correct statement. Next, which of the following statements is not correct for the vacuole? Regarding vacuole, contractile vacuole are helpful in excretion, right? Food vacuole are formed by engulfing the food particle, that is right. Sap vacuole is bounded by tonoplast, that is right. Tonoplast is outer membrane of vacuole. Tonoplast facilitate the transport of ion against the concentration gradient into the cytoplasm. against, that is wrong. A, B, C right, but according to question, not correct. Not correct. So option D is right answer for this. Next, which muscle produce extrusive movement in the urinary bladder? In urinary bladder. This is urinary bladder, collect urine from this side and this side. Smooth muscle, striated muscle, skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle. Smooth muscle present inside the urinary bladder that produce extrusive movement. So right option is A. Next question, assertion A and reason R. Assertion, muscle fiber are said to be the contractile in nature. That is right, contractile in nature, because when muscle fiber contract, then our muscles show movement. Muscle fiber can shorten. Muscle fiber can shorten during contraction and again return to the relaxed state. So, assertion true, reason true, and reason is favor to assertion. So, both assertion A and R, the true, and reason are correct explanation of A. Option A is right answer for this question. Match column first and second. Column first to column second. Epithelial tissue for skin. Connective tissue for bone. Nervous tissue for neuron, nerve cell, and muscular tissue, cardiac muscle. So, correct matching P, 4, Q, 3, R, 2, and S, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Option B is correct for this question. Next, paragraph question. An eukaryotic cell possesses two nucleus bounded by nuclear membrane, and other membrane bound organelles are also present in a eukaryotic cell. Study the given eukaryotic cell and answer the following question. This is eukaryotic cell, plant cell, because this structure is large in this cell and this is vacuole. And identify X, Y, W, Z. W, X, Y, Z in 19th question. This is vacuole, this is dictyosome, and this structure ... that is ribosome, and this is lysosome. So correct matching. W is dictyosome in two options, option B and C. And next one, X, vacuole in B option. Y is ribosome and Z is lysosome. So correct option is B. B is right answer for this question. Next, which of the following organelles contain hydrolytic enzyme? Hydrolytic enzyme present in lysosome. And lysosome help in degradation of so many complex substances, foreign particles. So, right option is Z. Z is right for this question. and these are the all solution for biology portion. For more update, subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to paper solution of class 9th mathematics. Our 21st question is, which among the following is greatest? So first of all, LCM of 6, 3 and 4, that is 12. So 6th root of 6 can be written as 12th root of 6 raised to power 2. Cube root of 7 can be written as 12th root of 7 raised to power 4. And 4th root of 8 can be written as 12th root of 8 raised to power 3. So it will be the 12th root of 36, 12th root of 2401 and 12th root of 512. So it means this one is the greatest. So which one is greatest? Cube root of 7. Cube root of 7 is greatest. Option B will be the correct answer. Question number 22. Solve this one up to 4 terms. So it will be the 11 raised to power 2 raised to power n minus 1 upon 2 raised to power n. It is n is 4 terms, so it will be the 11 raised to power 2 raised to power 4, that is 16 minus 1, 15 upon 16. So our answer is 16 root of 11 raised to power 15. 16 root of 11 raised to power 15. Option C will be the correct answer. Question number 23. The number of points of intersection of polynomial Px equal x cube plus 8 with the x-axis is. So Px equal x cube plus 8 can be written as x cube plus 2 cube. So a cube plus b cube, that is a plus b, a square plus b square minus ab. So when we'll find 0, we know that it has imaginary zeros and this one has 0, x equal to minus 2. So how many real zeros are there? Only one. So it will intersect x-axis at only 1 point. So option C will be the correct answer. Next, question number 24. The coefficient of y square in y square plus 1 upon y multiply y cube minus 5. So when we will simplify it, we will get y square multiply y cube minus 5 plus 1 upon y into y cube minus 5. So after simplification, you will get y raised to power 5 minus 5y square plus y square minus 5 upon y. So you will get y raised to power 5 minus 4y square minus 5 upon y. So coefficient of y square is minus 4. So coefficient of y square is minus 4. Option C will be the correct answer. Question number 25. Find the coordinates of the point where the line 2x equal y plus 3 meet at y-axis. We know that at y-axis x equal to 0. So in equation 2x equal y plus 3, put x equal to 0. So you will get 2 into 0 equal y plus 3. So value of y equal minus 3. So the coordinate will be the 0, minus 3, 0, minus 3. Option A will be the correct answer. Next, question number 26. In a group of goats and hens, the total number of legs is 24, more than twice the total number of heads. Just assume in a group goats are x and hens are y. Then total number of legs of goat, that will be the 4x, and total number of legs of hens, that is 2y. It is saying total number of legs, it means 4x plus 2y is 24 more than twice the total number of heads. Total number of head x plus y, 24 more than twice of total number of heads. So when you simplify it, 4x plus 2y equal 2x plus 2y plus 24. 2y to 2y cancel out and you will get 2x equal to 24, x equal to 12. So what is asking? The number of goats equal x. So value of x equal 12. So option C will be the correct answer. Next question, question number 27. The centroid of a triangle is 6, 6 and orthocenter 0, 0. Find circumcenter. Okay, we know that, just assume circumcenter x, y and centroid 6, 6 is given and orthocenter is 0, 0. So it will divide in 2:1. The centroid of a triangle divides orthocenter and circumcenter in 2:1. It means 6 equal 2 into x plus 0 upon 2 plus 1, 3. So from here 6 equal 2 into y plus 0 upon 3. So x equal 9 and y equal 9. So coordinates of circumcenter is 9, 9. Option C will be the correct answer. Question number 28. If 2, 0 and minus 2, 0 are two vertices of equilateral triangle, then the third vertex can be. It is saying there is a equilateral triangle A, B, C whose two vertices are minus 2, 0 and 2, 0. And when we draw a perpendicular from the third vertex on opposite side, it will bisect it. So the midpoint of the BC will be the 0, 0, x1 plus x2 upon 2, y1 plus y2 upon 2. So BC is on the x-axis and it is passing through the origin. So perpendicular on the y-axis, it means its x coordinate will be the 0. And the length of BC, that is 4 unit. It means it is an equilateral triangle. So AB will be also 4 unit. It means AB equal 4 unit. So using distance formula, it is 0 plus 2 whole square plus y minus 0 whole square equal to 4 square, that is 16. So y square plus 4 equal to 16, y square equal to 12. So y equal to 2 root 3. It means the plus minus 2 root 3. So coordinates will be the 0, 2 root 3 or 0, minus 2 root 3. It means the vertex of A is 0, 2 root 3. Option C will be the correct answer. Question number 29. In the given figure, AB parallel CD, AB parallel CD and angle BAE equal to 25 degree. That angle is 25 degree and CDE equal 30 degree. CDE equal 30 degree. Then angle AED, angle AED. Okay, so we have to find angle AED. Now, draw a line parallel to DC or AB and passing through the point E. So, from here, this angle is also 25 and this angle is also 30. Alternative interior angle. So, total AED equal to 25 plus 30, that is 55 degree. Option D will be the correct answer. In question number 30, if one angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of other two angles, then the triangle is. It is saying one angle of triangle, it is X, other angle is Y, other angle is Z. So, one angle is equal to the sum of other two angle. This is equation and we know that sum of all three interior angle of a triangle is 180 degree. So put y plus z equal to x. So you will get to x equal to 180 degree, x equal to 90 degree. If one angle is the 90 degree, then definitely it is a right angle triangle. So our option D will correct. Option D, 90 degree, that is right angle triangle. Question number 31. If the sides of a triangle are produced in order, then sum of the three exterior angles so formed is. In any polygon, when the sides are produced in order, sum of all exterior angle is always 360 degree. It is very basic question. So option D will be the correct answer. Question number 32. In the given figure, which of the following statement must be true? First, A plus B equal to D plus C. The lines are intersecting at particular this point. So it is given A plus B equal to D plus C. Here you can see A equal to D. So A equal to D, it means B must be equal to C. But B and C are adjacent angle. So it is not necessary that are equal. It means first one is false. Second one, A plus C plus E equal to 180 degree. A plus C plus E equal to 180 degree. Okay. So here angle A equal to angle D. Why? Because vertically opposite angle. So D plus C plus E equal to 180 degree. You can say D plus C plus E are sum of angle on a straight line, it is always 180 degrees. So second is true. Third one, B plus F equal to C plus E. B plus F equal to C plus E. Here you can see B equal to E, B equal to E, so F equal to C, F equal to C. These are vertically opposite angle. It means third one is also true. So which statement must be true? That is second and third. So option D will be the correct answer. Next question number 33. If 3x equal a plus b plus c, then the value of x minus a cube plus x minus b cube plus x minus c cube minus 3x minus a, x minus b, x minus c is. When you compare, it is like a p cube plus q cube plus r cube minus 3pqr. Yes or no? If p plus q plus r equal to 0, then pq plus q cube plus q cube minus 3pqr is also 0. So let's check. So 3x equal a plus b plus c. So we can write that is x minus a plus x minus b plus x minus c equal to 0. Send this side and split x in x plus x plus x. So here p plus q plus r equal to 0. So pq plus q cube plus r cube minus 3pqr also 0. So it is option C will be the correct answer. In question number 34, in a triangle, if AB equal AC, in a triangle AB equal AC, means these sides are equal, and AB is produced to D, AB is produced to D, such that BD equal BC, BD equal BC. Okay, join these. Then angle ACD, angle ACD ratio angle ADC. Okay, just assume this angle is X, then this one is also X. Why? The angle opposite to equal sides are equal, and these sides are also equal. Just assume this is Y and this is also Y. So angle ACD, it will the X plus Y, and angle ADC, angle ADC, that is Y. Okay. In triangle BDC, we know that sum of two interior angle equal to the third exterior angle. It means y plus y equal to x. It means x equal to 2y. Okay. So we can replace x by 2y. So we will get 2y plus y ratio y. So 3y ratio y. It means the ratio is 3:1. 3:1. Option C will be the correct answer. Question number 35. A main boat, 4 horses and 9 cows for rupees 1340. Just assume one horse cost is x and cost of one cow is y. It means 4x plus 9y equal to 1340. He sells horses at profit 10%. It means the profit on one horse is x upon 10. So it will profit on one horse is x upon 10. So profit on 4 horses is 4x upon 10 plus profit on one cow is 20%. It means profit on one cow is y upon 5. Then profit on 9 cow is 9y upon 5. Total profit is 188. So when you simplify, you will get 4x plus 18y equal to 1880. After that, what price he did pay for the horses? It means we have to find the value of 4x. It means we will eliminate y. So for this, multiply equation 1 by 2. So we will get 8x plus 18y equal 2680. So subtract. So we will get minus 4x equal 800 minus 800. So 4x equal 800. What he is asking, what price did he pay for the horses? It means price of 4 horses he did pay, that is 4x, and value of 4x is equal to 800. 800. Option B will be the correct answer. Question number 36. If 9 raised to power x minus 1 equal 3 raised to power 2x minus 1 minus 486, then the value of x is. Okay. So 9 raised to power x minus 1 can be written as 3 raised to power 2x minus 2 equal 3 raised to power 2x minus 1 minus 486. So when you send in left hand side and take 3 raised to power 2x common, you will get 3 raised to power minus 2 minus 3 raised to power minus 1 equal minus 486. So 3 raised to power 2x into 1 upon 9 minus 1 upon 3 equal minus 486. After simplification, you will get 3 raised to power 2x multiply minus 2 upon 9 equal minus 486 minus minus plus. So you will get 3 raised to power 2x equal to, after simplification, you will get 3 raised to power 7. So 2x equals 7 when you compare the power. So value of x is 3.5. Value of x is 3.5. Option A will be the correct answer. Question number 37. If A equal 3 minus root 5 upon 3 plus root 5 and B equal 3 plus root 5 upon 3 minus root 5, given below are the steps to find the value of A square minus B square. Arrange the steps in correct sequence. Okay. So first of all, what we do? We have to rationalize the denominator of A and B. So first step may be Q and R. So in Q and R, we are rationalizing the A and B's numerator. So second step may be R or Q. And after that, finding these value, we are adding A and B and A minus B. So we are getting value of A plus B equals 7 and A minus B equal minus 3 root 5. So third step is S, and fourth step, put the value here. We know we have to find A square minus B square, that is A plus B, A minus B. So A plus B, A minus B, that is A square minus B square, and you are getting minus 21 root 5. So fourth step is P. So our correct answer is QRSP or RQSP. So in here is QRSP. Option A will be the correct answer. Question number 38. Given below are the steps to find the ratio in which the point minus 4, 6 divide the line segment joining the points A minus 6, 10 and B 3, 8. Arrange the steps in correct sequence. So first of all, we have to decide in what ratio it is dividing. Just assume it is dividing in M ratio N. So our S will be the first step. After that, we will put in the section formula, and this is solution of the section formula. So this is the second step. Now we take x coordinate or y coordinate. So just here we are comparing the x coordinate. So this is the third step, and after simplification, 7m equal to 2n. So m upon n equal to 2 ratio 7. So m ratio n equal to ratio 7. So this one is the fourth step. So our correct sequence is S R P Q. S R P Q. Option C will be the correct answer. In question number 39, assertion if A equal 9, then the degree of the polynomial Px equal x minus A whole cube plus 729 is 3. So Px is given x minus A whole cube plus 729. So after simplification and put the value of A equal to 9, so you will get x minus 9 cube plus 729. So when you simplify it, you will get x cube minus 9 cube minus 3 x square into 9 plus 3x into 9 square plus 729. So minus 9 cube to 729 will cancel out, and we will get some simplified value like x cube minus 9 3 are 27 x square plus 243x. Here the degree of this polynomial is 3. So yes, degree is 3 means assertion is true. And reason a linear polynomial can have infinite zeros, no linear polynomial can have at most 1 zero. So it means this one is false. So our reason is false, but assertion is true. Assertion is true, but reason is false. Option C will be the correct answer. Next, question number 40. Assertion: every solution of a linear equation in two variable is a point on the graph of linear equation. It is saying if any equation is given, ax plus by equal to c, linear equation in two variable. So when you put the value of x and you will get the value of y, so these value of x and y will be the solution of the linear equation. And when you draw the graph, it's every point will lie on the graph. So it means assertion is true. Reason: the equation of y axis is y equal to 0, reason is false. Equation of y-axis is x equal to 0, not y equal to 0. So reason is false. So assertion is true, reason is false. Assertion is true, reason is false. Option C will be the right answer. Question number 41. Which of the following statement is true and false? First, it is possible to two planes to intersect at exactly one point. No. Always two planes intersect at a line, never intersect at a point. So it is false. Second, when two lines run parallel to each other on the graph, they have no solution. Yes, when two lines run parallel in each other, they will never intersect, so they will have no solution. This one is true. Third one, the expression y square plus 4 root 2 is a polynomial in one variable. Yes, here is only one variable, so it is a polynomial in one variable. Fourth, a rational number can be expressed in p upon q form, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. Yes, this one is absolutely true. This is the definition of the rational number. So our correct answer is FTTT. FTTT. Option D will be the correct answer. In question number 42, which of the following statement is true and false? First, angle formed by a transversal and two parallel lines are either complementary or congruent. No, angle formed by the transversal and two parallel lines are supplementary or congruent, not complementary. So this one is false. Second, a binomial may have degree 6. Yes, a x की power 6 s raised to power 5. There are two terms and it is binomial. It may have degree 6. May have, so it is true. Third one, for any positive integer x and y, if x is less than y, then x square is less than y square. Absolutely, it is true. Fourth one, every point on the graph of a linear equation in two variables does not represent a solution of linear equation. It is saying that when we are drawing a graph of any linear equation, every point of the graph does not represent a solution of linear equation. No, it's represent a linear equation. So this one is also false. So our answer is FTTF. FTTF. So option D will be the correct answer. Question number 43. Which of the following statement is true and false? First, the difference of any two sides of a triangle is equal to the third side. No, difference of two sides of a triangle is always less than the third side. So this one is false. Second, the distance between the graph of equation y equal -1 and y equal 3 is 4. Yes, the distance between the graph of equation y equal -1, y equal 3 is always 4, or it is on the number line or it is in the Cartesian plane. So this one is true. Third one, the equation of x minus 4 is represented by a line parallel to x-axis, and a line parallel to x-axis is represented by y minus a equal to 0, not x minus 4 equal to 0. It will parallel to the y-axis. So this one is also false. Fourth, if two sides of triangle are unequal, then the longer side has a smaller angle opposite to it. No, the longer side has larger angle opposite to it. This one is also false. So our correct answer is FTFF. FTFF. Option B will be the correct answer. Question number 44. Match column first and second and select the correct answers codes given below. Zeros of the polynomial. This is a polynomial, so put equal to 0. So we will find 0 of the polynomial. So from here the 0 is minus pi upon 2. So P's option is third, minus pi upon 2. If x square minus 3x plus 1 equal to 0, then value of x cube minus 1 upon x cube. Okay, so here x square minus 3x plus 1 equal to 0. Divide by x in both sides, so you will get x plus 1 upon x equal 3 after simplification. So we know that one identity a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square equal to 4ab. So from this x plus 1 upon x square minus x minus 1 upon x square equal to 4, a into b, x into 1 upon x, that is 1. So that is 3 square minus x minus 1 upon x square equal to 4. So after simplification we will get x minus 1 upon x whole square equal to 9 minus 4 5. So x minus 1 upon x equal to root 5. Okay, so x minus 1 upon x equal to root 5. So x cube minus 1 upon x cube. We know that x cube minus 1 upon x cube equal to x minus 1 upon x square plus 1 upon x square plus xy. So it is root 5 into x square plus 1 upon x square. When we will square this one, you will get x square plus 1 upon x square equal to 3 square 9 plus minus 2, that is 7. So that is 7 plus x into y, that is x minus x into 1 upon x. So it will 1. So it is 8 root 5. It is 8 root 5. So Q's answer is 4th 8 root 5. The coordinates of axis divides the Cartesian plane into 4 equal parts. So R's answer is first 4 equal parts. The Cartesian plane consists of how many axes? 2 axes. So this answer is 2. So our correct answer is 3 4 1 2. 3 4 1 2. Option C will be the correct answer. Next question. Match column first and column second and select the correct answer. The linear equation x minus 11y equal 10 has x minus 11y has infinite many solution. Linear equation in two variable has a infinite many solution. So this answer is third. Q 2x plus 5 equals 0 has how many solutions? It has unique solution. So first will be the correct answer for Q. The y coordinate is called, it is called ordinate. So fourth one is the correct answer, as the number of zeros of a polynomial is equal to the degree of the polynomial. So it one is second degree. So our correct answer is 2 3 1 4 2. 3 1 4 2. Option C will be the correct answer. Question number 46. Column first and column second we have to match P 0.123 bar. So 0.123 bar, just assume equal to x. So 10x equal to 1.23 bar. When you subtract x from 10x, you will get 9x. In right hand side you will get 1.11. After simplification you will get 111 upon 900, that is 37 upon 300. So P's correct answer is 2, 37 upon 300. Q, LCM of these fractions. So LCM of fractions will be the LCM of numerator upon HCF of denominators. So LCM of numerator 563's LCM is that is 30, and HCF of denominator 1252 is that is 1. So 30 upon 1, that is 30. So LCM of this fraction will be the option 3, 30. R, rational number between root 2 and root 3. Rational number between root 2 and root 3, that is 3 upon 2. Option first, value of 2.45 bar plus 0.36 bar. So 2.45 bar can be written as 243 upon 99 plus 0.36 bar can be written as 36 upon 99. When you will add, you will get 279 upon 99. After simplification, you will get 31 upon 11. So as correct answer is option 4, 31 upon 11. Now correct code will be the 2314. 2314. Option D will be the correct answer. Paragraph 4, question number 47 and 48. There are some students in two exam hall and B. To make the number of students equal in each hall, 10 students are sent from A to B. But if 20 students are sent from B to A, the number of students in A becomes double of the number of students in B. So just assume two holes are there, A and B. Number of students in hole A is X, number of students in hole B, Y. So when 10 students are sent in hole B, so remaining students are X minus 10 and student become in hole B, that is Y plus 10. So students after that situation are equal. So it means X minus Y equal to 20, equation 1. And in second condition, it is saying if 20 students are sent from B to A, so number of students in hole A, that is X plus 20, and number of students remaining in hole B, that is Y minus 20. In that condition, number of students in hole A becomes twice the number of students in whole b. So x plus 20 equal 2y minus 40, x minus 2y equal minus 60. So now subtract equation 1 from 2 or 2 from 1. So when we'll subtract 2 from 1, we will get minus plus plus. So you will get y equal 80. So number of student in whole b, that is y equal to 80. So in whole a, x equal to 80 plus 20, that is x equal to 100. Okay, now it is asking find the number of student in whole a, that is x equal to 100 and y equal to 80, remember it, and it is asking find the number of student in whole b, that is 80. So option A will be the correct for question number 48. Paragraph for question number 49 and 50. Given graph shows the arrangement of the desk in the classroom. Ashima, Bharti, Camilla are the seated at A, B, C. Considering P as origin, answer the following question. If P is origin, what are the coordinates of Ashima A? So coordinate of Ashima is in x-axis 3 and in y-axis 2, that is 3, 2, that is 3, 2. Option C will be the correct answer. In question number 50, what are the coordinates of C if R is the considered at origin? If you consider R at origin, then the coordinate will be the, in x-axis it is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and in y-axis that is -1. So coordinate will be the -5, -1. Option B will be the correct answer. I hope आपका एग्जाम बहुत अच्छा रहा होगा और मैट्रिक्स ओलंपियाड से रिलेटेड और मैट्रिक्स से रिलेटेड सारे के सारे अपडेट्स हमारे व्हाट्सएप चैनल पर अवेलेबल है, जिसका लिंक आपके डिस्क्रिप्शन में गिवन है। इसके अलावा अगर आपको मैट्रिक्स ओलंपियाड में किसी भी क्वेश्चन से रिलेटेड कोई भी क्वेरी हो तो आप अमोप की वेबसाइट पर लॉगिन करके आस्क ए डाउट ऑप्शन में पूछ सकते हैं और हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि आपको सारे अपडेट्स टाइम टू टाइम मिलते रहें। थैंक यू सो मच।
Hello student, welcome to Matrix YouTube channel. We are here to discuss the solution of Matrix Olympiad paper of class 9th reasoning conducted on 20 October 2024. Hope you perform very well. So here we go. Question number 51. Look at this series. So series is 3, 7, 23, 95 and find the next number. So find the next number of given series. So first find the pattern of given series. So pattern of this series is 3 multiplied by 2 plus 1, it means 7. Now 7 multiplied by 3, it means 21 plus 2, it means 23. Now 23 multiplied by 4 plus 3, 23 multiplied by 4, it means 92. 92 plus 3, it means 95. Now similarly 95 multiplied by 5, because first multiply by 2, then 3, then 4, now next is 5. So 95 multiplied by 5 plus 1 plus 1, 2, 3, now adding 4. So 95 multiplied by 5, it means 475. 475 plus 4, it means 479. So 479 is the next term of given number series. So now here option B is the correct answer of this question. Now next question is question number 52. Look at this series. So series is A 3P C 5N E 8K G 12G and find the next. So in this series, first taking first alphabet of each term. So first alphabet of first term is A, first alphabet of second term is C, first alphabet of third term is E, first alphabet of fourth term is Z, after G next is missing. So place value of A is 1, place value of C is 3, place value of E is 5, place value of G is 7, now next is 1, 3, 5, 7, now next is 9. 9 it means I, because place value of I is 9 in English alphabet. So first missing alphabet is I. Now taking second alphabet of each term. So second alphabet of first term is P, second alphabet of second term is N, second alphabet of third term is K, second alphabet of fourth term is G, after G next is missing. So find the pattern. So place value of P is 16, place value of N is 14, place value of K is 11, place value of G is 7. So pattern is 16 to 14, it means -2, 14 to 11, it means -3, 11 to 7, it means -4, -2, -3, -4, now -5. So 7 minus 5, it means 2. So 2, it means B, because place value of B in English alphabet is 2. So second missing alphabet is B. Now number series. Now take the number series. So 3, 5, 8, 12. Now next is missing. So 3 to 5, it means +2. Now 5 to 8, it means +3. 8 to 12, it means +4. +2, +3, +4. Now similarly +5. So 12 plus 5, it means 17. So missing number is 17. So missing term is I17B. So I17B, it means option B is the correct answer of this question. Now next question is question number 53. A man from point A walks 100 meter to the north direction, then walks 60 meter to the south, then walks 30 meter to the east and reach at point B. Find the distance and direction from point A to B. Before starting this question, we should know that there are 4 types of main directions. This is north, this is east, this is south, this is west, and there are 4 types of cardinal direction. This is northeast, this is southeast, this is southwest, and this is northwest. Now according to question, a man from point A, this is the point A. Now man walks 100 meter to the north direction. First man goes 100 meter towards north direction, then walks 60 meter to the south. From here he goes 60 meter towards south direction. So this is the south direction. From here, this is the south direction, and man goes 60 meter towards south direction. Now man goes 30 meter to the east direction. So now from here he goes 30 meter towards east direction and reach at point B. Now find the distance. So find the distance between A and B. So let's suppose this point is C. So in right angle triangle ACB, so now AC is equals to total is 100 minus 60. Covered distance is 60. 100 minus 60, it means 40 meter. So distance between A and C is 40 meter, and distance between B and C is 30 meter. Now according to Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is equals to perpendicular square plus base square. So hypotenuse means AB square is equals to AC square plus BC square. So AB square is equals to AC, it means 40 square, plus BC, it means 30 square. So 40 square, it means 1600, plus 30 square, it means 900. So 1600 plus 900, it means 2500. Now AB is equals to root 2500. So AB is equals to 50 meter. So distance between A and B is 50 meter. Now find the direction from point A to B. Find the direction of B with respect to point A. So this is the north direction. This is the north direction of A, and this is the east direction of A. And B is in northeast from point A. B is in northeast from point A. So 50 meter northeast is the correct answer of this question. So 50 meter northeast is the correct answer. It means option C is the correct answer of this question. Let's move on to the next question. So now next question is question number 54. The minute hand of a clock is in northeast at 4:30. Then in which direction the hour hand will be at 10:30? So now according to question, time is 4:30. Time is 4:30. Time is 4:30 and the minute hand, this is the minute hand, and minute hand shows the northeast direction. So this is the northeast, and now according to this is the northeast. So this is north, and this is north, then this is east, and this is east, then it means this is south, and this is west. So now according to question, according to 10:30, according to 10:30, hour hand shows the direction, which direction the hour hand will be at 10:30. So this is the hour hand. Now hour hand shows the direction of south. Now hour hand shows the direction of south. So here option A is the correct answer, because hour hand at 10:30 shows the south direction. So here option A is the correct answer of this question. Let's move on to the next question. So now next question is question number 55. In a birthday party, Ram stand 36th place from the left and Sohan stand 48th place from the right. When they exchange their position, then Ram becomes 48th place from left. What is the new position of Sohan from right? In a birthday party, Ram stand 36th place. Ram stand 36th place from the left. This is the left side. And 36th place. Ram stand 36th place from the left. And this is the right direction of the row. And Sohan stand 48th place from the right. Sohan stand 48th place from the right. Now they exchange their position. So if they exchange their position, now here is Sohan and here is Ram. If they exchange their position, now here is Sohan, then here is Ram. Then Ram becomes 48th place from left. So new position of Ram from the left is 48th. And new position of Ram from the right is also 48. So position of Ram from the left is 48 and position of Ram from the right is also 48. Then what is the new position of Sohan from the right? Find the new position of Sohan from the right. Sohan new position from the left is 36. Now first find the total number of person in this row. Find the total number of person in this party. So left position plus right position of the same person minus 1. So left position of Ram is 48 plus right position of Ram is also 48 minus 1. 48 plus 48, it means 96 minus 1, it means 95. So total number of person in this party is 95. Now find the new position of Sohan from the right. So formula is total minus new position of Sohan from the left plus 1. So total number of person is 95 minus new position of Sohan from left. New position of Sohan from left is 36 plus 1. 95 plus 1, it means 96 minus 36. 96 minus 36, it means 60. So new position of Sohan from the right is 60. So now here option D is the correct answer of this question. Let's move on to the next question. So now next question is question number 56. In a class of 49 students, A is 17th place from top, B is the 11th place from bottom. If C is exact in middle of A and B, how many students between B and C? So in a class of 49 students, so total student is equals to 49. Now A is 17th place from the top, so position of A from the top is 17. Now B is 11th place from bottom, B is 11th place. Now here is B. Now B is 11th place from the bottom. If C is exact in middle of A and B, so C is exact middle in of A and B. Now here is C. How many students between B and C? How many students between B and C? So first find the number of mid person in between A and B. Find the number of mid person between A and B. So number of mid person is equals to total minus top position plus bottom position of the second person. So total is equals to 49 minus top position of first person. So top position of A is 17 plus bottom position of B is 11. So 49 minus 17 plus 11, it means 28. So 49 minus 28, it means 21. So there are 21% between A and B. Now C is exactly in between A and B. So position of C from the A and also from the B is 21 plus 1 divided by 2. N plus 1 divided by 2. N means number of mid person plus 1 divided by 2. It means 22 divided by 2. It means 11th. So position of C from B is 11th and also from A is 11th. So how many person in between B and C? So there are 10%. There are 10% in between B and C. So there are 10% because position of C is 11th from B. So it means there are 10% in between B and C. So here option B is the correct answer of this question. Let's move on to the next question. So now next question is question number 57. What interchange should be make the given equation true? So in this question, options are taken one by one and check which one is correct. So according to option A, 7 becomes 4 and 4 becomes 7. So in this equation, 4 becomes 7 and this 4 becomes 7. So equation is 5 plus 3 multiplied by 6 minus 7 divided by 2 is equals to 7 multiplied by 3 minus 10 divided by 2 plus 1. Now using BODMAS rule in this equation, so 5 plus, first divide the numbers, 3 multiplied by 6 minus 7 divided by 2, it means 3.5 is equals to 7 multiplied by 3 minus 10 divided by 2, it means 5 plus 1. Now multiply the numbers, 5 plus 3 multiplied by 6, it means 18 minus 3.5 is equals to 7 into 3, it means 21 minus 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 18, it means 23 minus 3.5 is equals to 21 minus 4 plus 1, it means minus 4. So 21 minus 4. So 23 minus 3.5, it means 19.5 is equals to 21 minus 4, it means 17. So 19.5 never equals to 17. So it means option A is the incorrect option. Now taking option B. So according to option B, 5 becomes 7 and 7 becomes 5. So 5 becomes 7 and 7 becomes 5. So now equation is 7 plus 3 multiply 6 minus 4 divided by 2 is equals to 4 into 3 minus 10 divided by 2 plus 1. So now using BODMAS rule in this equation, so first divide the numbers. So 7 plus 3 into 6 minus 4 divided by 2, it means 2 is equals to 4 into 3 minus 10 divided by 2, it means 5 plus 1. So 7 multiply by 7 plus 3 multiply by 6, it means 18 minus 2 is equals to 3 into 4 into 3, it means 12 minus 5 plus 1. So 18 plus 7, it means 25 minus 2 is equals to 12 minus 4, because minus 5 plus 1 minus 4, minus 5 plus 1 minus 4. So now 25 minus 2, it means 23 is equals to 12 minus 4, it means 8. 23 never equals to 8. So here option B also incorrect option. Now taking option C. So according to option C, 6 becomes 4 and 4 becomes 6. So according to this equation, 6 becomes 4 and 4 becomes 6. 4 becomes 6. Okay. So equation is 5 plus 3 into 4 minus 6 divided by 2 is equals to 6 into 3 minus 10 divided by 2 plus 1. Now using BODMAS rule in this equation, so 5 plus 3 multiplied by 4 minus 6 divided by 2, it means 3 is equals to 6 multiply 3 minus 10 divided by 2, it means 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 12 minus 3 is equals to 18 minus 5 plus 1. So 5 plus 12, it means 17 minus 3 is equals to 18 minus 5 plus 1, it means minus 4, 13, 17 minus 3, it means 14, and 18 minus 4, it means also 14. Yes, 14 always equals to 14. So here option C is the correct answer of this question. Next question. So now next question is question number 58. If P means multiply, P means multiply, R means plus, T means divided by, and S means minus. So then what is the value of given equation? So given expression is 18, T means divide, 3, P means multiply, 9, S means minus, 8, R it means plus, 6. So using BODMAS rule in this equation, so 18 divided by 3, it means 6 multiply by 9 minus 8 plus 6. 6 multiply by 9, it means 54. 54 minus 8 plus 6. So 54 plus 6, it means 60 minus 8. 60 minus 8, it means 52. So now value of given equation is 52. So now here option D is the correct answer of this question. Now let's move on to the next question. So now next question is question number 59. Read the given information carefully and answer the question that follow. 11 friends M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V and W are sitting in the first row of the stadium watching a cricket match. 11 friends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. 11 friends are watching a cricket match. Everyone's face will be in the same direction because all are watching a match. So let's suppose all are facing towards north direction. So now according to information, T is to the immediate left of P. T is immediate left of P. So it means here is P and here is T. And third to the right of U. T is third to the right of U. So now here is U. 1, 2. This is the third right of U. Now according to second information, V is the immediate neighbor of N and N. V is V is the immediate neighbor of M and N. This information creates two situations. First situation is M, V, N, and second situation is N, V, M. And third to the left of S, V is third to the left of S. Now here is S. Here is S. Now next information, according to next information, M is the second to the right of Q. M is the second right of Q. So now here is Q and now here is M. This information has been eliminated because according to this situation, M is second right of N. So this situation has been eliminated. Who is at one end? Q is at one end. So here is Q. Here is Q. Now here is M. And here is V, N, and S. Now, according to next information, R is sitting next to right of P. R is sitting next right of P. Now, here is P, then here is R. And P is second to the right of O. So, P is to the second right of O. Now, here is O. Now, here is P. Now, combine these two information, then we got a situation like this: V dash O T P R. When combine these two information, then we get a situation like this. So now U, here is U, here is S, and here is O, here is T, and here is P, and here is R. And one person is missing. So one person W. So now W is here. So now question is, who is sitting in the center of the row? Who is sitting in the center of row? So center, it means 11 person, it means 6 person. So 6 person, it means U. U is sitting in the center of the row. So here U is the correct answer of this question because U is sitting in the center of the row. So now next question is question number 60. In the question below consists of a question and two statements, number 1 and 2 given below it. You have to decide whether the data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question. Read both the statement and give answer. So now question is, how many gift boxes? So find the number of gift boxes were sold on Monday. Were sold on Monday. So find the number of gift boxes were sold on Monday. So now, for this question, we have two statements. So now according to statement first taking both statements separately. So now according to statement first, it was 10% more than the boxes sold on the earlier day, Sunday. So if let's suppose number of gift box were sold on earlier day means Sunday, is equals to X. So now number of gift box. So now number of gift boxes were sold on Monday is equals to X plus 10% of X, because it was 10% more than the boxes sold on the earlier day like Sunday. So but in this statements, number of gift boxes were sold on Sunday is not given. So it means value of X is not given. So this statement alone is not sufficient to answer the question. So now according to statement second, every third visitors to the shop purchased only the one box and 1500 visitors were there on Sunday. So total visitors is equals to 1500. Now every third visitor purchased the gift box. So number of gift box were sold on Sunday is equals to 1500 divided by 3 because every third visitor to the shop purchased only one box. So number of gift boxes were sold on Sunday is equals to 1500 divided by 3. It means 500. So now combine both statement. So now according to statements first and statement second. So number of gift boxes is equals to 500 on Sunday is equals to 500. So now number of gift boxes were sold on Monday is equals to value of x is 500. So 500 plus 10% of x. So 10% of 500 is 50. So 550 gift boxes were sold on Monday. So it means both statement together are sufficient to answer the question. So now here option C, the data in statement first and statement second together are sufficient to answer the question. So here option C is the correct answer of this question. So we have finished the solution. I hope you understood it well. If you have any query and doubt regarding the paper solution, so please log in the website and click ask the doubt option and write your doubt there. And any new information related to Matrix Olympiad will be updated on this YouTube channel. So subscribe the channel for more updates, and you can also have new updates on our WhatsApp channel. So to join, click on the links provided in the description box. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great time.